what you know from your level of expertise, and then give it back to me. I'm interested in that feedback because we want to make sure these documents are as perfect as possible so that we can get approval and funding. So, Donnie, you made an excellent point. But when we have that feedback coming back from you, I'm going to see that on your literature.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is just where we're starting. I just want you to know where we're starting in the project charter. Future stage. EIF. This wonderful thing that we're building is going to be a service that will provide more transparency into the operations of the business through normalization and connection of disparate data sets. So we're going to solve that problem. And then we're going to enable businesses within Wells Fargo to make strategic decisions more quickly while identifying efficiency opportunities, cost-saving opportunities, and then ways to mitigate risk. Additionally, this is a tall order. EIF will unify major existing sources of connected information and hopefully provide a service and a platform that will provide internal stakeholders, users, and others views of interconnected business information that is consistent, timely, accurate, authoritative, and extensible. So this is specific about what our goal is as we move through this project, and this will be in our project charter.
Well, what's the difference really between that second paragraph and the top one?
It really gets more specific.
But what I'm saying is you can't have that service without the second. I think you should say before that you're unifying the information to provide the service.
Well, you can hear feedback from the project charter.
I'm giving you live feedback.
Yeah, I think in the interest of your 2MC, I would make a shot at simplifying the future state.
Oh, yeah.
It's very long. I think
in the interest of simplicity.
Simplicity.
How can you say, okay, for me, I'm a bit loquacious, forgive me. I love to talk. I don't know if you guys can tell. But this is my intent to try to gather all the thoughts in the room in November, and then Rick's thoughts, and then maybe conversations I may have had with Grace after the fact to help me get up to speed, because Grace is like EIF 101, and then Rick is like EIF Advanced 101. So I was trying to put into this particular commentary everything I've learned when we gather so that we can make sure that it captures your thoughts. So, right.
Yeah. So
brevity is not my strong point.
So far advanced from where we were in the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, say that again because Lisa McConaughey wrote it.
Very far advanced. But I do agree with the tool. We could continue to get it down to one paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to the 18th, guys, to tweet it up. All right. Okay, next thing. All right, the house is at the bottom. Okay, so the graphics at the bottom. The current state is what we have. The house is what we're trying to build. It's the windows, the color of the roof, the little light bulb outside the door. What we're doing is we're adding elements to Wells Fargo to make this user-friendly and something that's valuable in our organization. Okay? So that's why I have the illustrations there.
I would submit you have ramshackle neighborhood.
I know.
And then on the right you have this nice.
Mansion.
Okay. So the mansion is
Two doors in the shack.
I'm not far more spaghetti.
Right.
So I'm going to sit down and we're going to let Sam talk to you about dependencies and assumptions. Sam, you have the floor, sir.
All right. So as far as dependencies for the project, I know we talked about this at the last kickoff, but we wanted to capture the key thing was the business process management program that they'll be providing, producing some map information and some of the components we discussed before, the relationship processes and capabilities from earlier. They'll be providing that support at an enterprise level that can be utilized within EIF. They're hoping to have this done by fourth quarter 2020, but as far as some of the goals, it could be limited for EIF, so we're hoping that we can work with them to get this resolved. And I think also there's another dependency that we talked earlier about the EPM tool. The EPM tool? The Enterprise Project Service Management.
That should be resolved before this actually. That should be resolved.
Okay.
I'm not sure what we're talking about on the.
Graphics.
For the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
No,
EPM
depending
tool.
EPM, they haven't,
The EPM tool.
Oh,
is
project.
project.
Yeah. So in terms of other efforts, this can get unwieldy potentially depending on how far out we get to like data sets and systems of record. So I know you mentioned that PeopleSoft was potentially going away, and we could be adding to this list as we think about what we're tackling and when and kind of thing.
Okay. So are there any other dependencies that we needed to know? This is going into the BRD.
well, I mean, I think there's always gonna be dependence on services, because I'm continuing to relate pieces and things, like I'm not gonna stop doing that with the services stuff either, so I think services should be in there, because we're still getting to a steady operating state.
I agree. For any of the systems of record that are currently one of the,
6.
what do we call them? Entities, objects, what do we call them?
Either one.
Okay, either one. Entities that are in scope, they all have current systems of record, and many of them are creating integration points and relationships to other entities and objects. Depending on the maintenance project changes that are occurring in those systems of record, there could end up being interdependencies.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So what I wrote down was the roadmaps for the in-scope entity.
Yeah.
That's a dependency.
And their systems of record.
And
The
their
roadmaps for the
and their
in-scope
systems.
entities and the systems
And
of record.
systems of record.
But they're likely always going to be changing, right?
Yeah.
And the reality is our architecture needs to account for that. And,
Yes, and the service.
but there will be some squishy issues as you try to do that first implementation. Should I
Right.
for that SLR knowing it's going away in 9 months, or should I just wait? Those are the kinds of things.
Yeah, until they're migrated, they're the dependency to keep them track.
Yeah.
So that the last sub-bullet in that first part, EIF full business case may not completely be operational until the mapping via BPM. Does it mean that the consent order mapping is going to go on its own, with or without EIF? So do we have to keep it lockstep with them?
That's right.
So that's a big,
That is right.
They have their own
yeah.
effort that they're doing, and we want to make sure they're aligned with it. And that's why we have Brian on the team.
Yeah, and in some respects, I also think that they're mapping some things that may be unique that we don't have, and so until their mapping is done, we don't really have a complete view even, right? So.
Do we have any regulatory dates or anything that this is trying to help deliver towards that would be a dependency, or?
Not EIS in particular. I think there's different, like my work has regulatory dates, I have to meet, process work has not, but I don't think the collective effort.
The individual entities like applications,
Yeah.
services, they all have their own regulatory requirements.
Yeah.
This is, EIF is that way more proactive.
Yeah.
You're preparing
to
So we have them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
some of those things in the future, yeah.
So just as a parking lot item, we might want to think about how we align this, right? So where I'm coming from is within the EIT, right? There's a lot of focus on non-discretionary, right?
Yeah.
The things that we have to do from a regulatory perspective, the things that we have to do to keep our stuff in order, and everything that this is trying to do, to me, meets that guideline, but I'm not too sure that we're necessarily talking about it in that way.
Right.
That it can be perceived as very discretionary. And I don't think this is.
Yeah, I think you're
We're going to pay the bidder now, or we can pay the bidder now.
right.
A lot more.
Yeah.
And the point of view that we're taking in the draft business case so far, that everyone will have an opportunity to look at, is that, yes, there are a number of consent orders that this directly touch and support, and we'd like to go the non-discretionary.
Right, so I think that we should.
So I think it's sort of making an attempt to drive our business case from being desirable to critical.
Yeah,
Not just a desirable thing, it's going to be critical.
yeah.
Great.
We can also guise it as app rationalization. You can guise it under a lot of the different criteria that they're currently looking at in prioritization.
Yeah, and maybe data management has some.
Oh, yeah. We have data strategy says you need to use it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.